Vlogging and video creation while being on the road. What cameras do you use? How many tripods do you carry? Do you have a drone or a camera team? I will cover all this and even more in just a couple of seconds. Hi, I'm Lara, aka Giant Cheerio, and I'm a video creator and a professional around the world cyclist.
Bye-bye. We arrived in India.
Today you're in for a treat. I'm giving you a full behind the scenes look and walk you through my cameras and my tripods and all my gear I use for creating videos and content while being on the road while cycling. A little spoiler, when I started my travel or cycling journey a couple of years ago, I had like zero experience. I didn't know how to use a camera. I didn't know anything about microphones or tripods. So this video is a basic video about my equipment, but I won't go into details. So if you're searching for a video with camera settings and some fancy technical stuff, then this is not your video. Let's dive into the most important thing, my cameras. Oh, one thing I have to mention is you will find all my gear in the video description down below, and all of those links will be affiliate links. While being on the road, I am using 4 different cameras, and don't be shocked, don't be shocked. Actually, it's not that much of a deal. My main camera is my Sony camera. I am shooting all my pictures and the beautiful shots with my Sony a6600. Yeah, I have to mention that I'm also shooting my most disappointing shots with that camera because I'm still learning, I'm still in the process of figuring out. I don't want to go into details, but the Sony a6600 is my main camera. Together with that camera, I'm using a Tamron lens. It's a 35 to 150 millimeter lens. And yes, this lens is massive, and this setup, like the camera together with the lens, is bulky, it's heavy. You might say this is not a travel setup, but actually for me that is perfect because with this massive lens I can zoom in and zoom out, and I don't have to jump around or go closer to an object or move further away because I can do all this with this lens. And a quick note, the last thing I want to do while traveling is changing my lens. I am far too lazy to do that. The downside of this setup is spontaneous filming is not possible with that camera and the lens. I'm gonna talk about my bags later, but yeah, sometimes I stop my bicycle. I have my little camera bag here, and then I take out the camera. This takes a couple of seconds, and then when I start filming something, it's yeah, it's just not made to be super spontaneous. Also, it's quite heavy and I'm not holding my hand stable, so it's better to film with a tripod. So yeah, this setup is not the best setup for spontaneous filming. Also, like checking on the light and the camera settings. A couple of times I really messed it up, and I have grainy footage and super weird, disappointing footage from Iran and Pakistan because I just messed it up. So sometimes I just recommend to hit the auto record button to be on the safe side. But yeah, I don't want to do that, so sometimes I have to work with my messed up grainy footage. And then let's talk about drones. When it comes to filming myself on the road, drones have always been a bit of a hassle for me. I remember having to stop, pull out the drone, pull out the remote control, set everything up, and it was just a lot of work for just one shot. So some month ago I started using the HOVERAir X1, and it's been a super little and lightweight game changer. This little drone is super easy to use. There is no remote needed. I just pull it out of my bag, I unfold it, I turn it on, and pick a mode, like tracking mode, which is perfect for filming myself while cycling. It follows me around so I can focus on riding and get the shots I want without all the setup. When I'm done, it lands right in my hand. I pack it up and I'm back on the road. More details about this HOVERAir X1 in the video description down below. So next one is my GoPro camera. I'm using the GoPro 11. It's easy to use, the stabilization is amazing, and it is perfect to use it spontaneously. Most of the time when something happens in front of my bike, I just click, press the button, it starts recording and I don't have to do anything. It just records, and I like that a lot. For me, this GoPro is a little lifesaver also. Sometimes when it has to go quick, or when I just want to like say something and talk to the camera, then it's super quick. I just press that button and I'm on air. But also with this GoPro thing, there are some drawbacks. To use external microphones, you have to buy a so-called media mod. I did that. I bought this thing. While using this thing, your GoPro isn't waterproof anymore. And also I lost the Wind Muff. All my footage sounds horrible. Like I lost it somewhere in Armenia and I never checked my footage. I never ever did. And now, so for a couple of thousand kilometers, my GoPro footage sounds like... Yeah, I lost the Wind Muff. It's not possible to get a replacement for this muff, and the media mod itself is quite pricey, so I didn't want to buy that thing again just because of losing some kind of muff. So yeah, I decided to use the GoPro with this GoPro Wind Muff, and to be honest, the inbuilt microphone of the GoPro, it's enough for the stuff I do. It's enough for talking, and this thing here, which is super cheap, and there are many replacements out there, is perfect for windy days or while cycling with headwinds or whatever, and the sound quality is perfect with this setup. I'm using the white batteries with my GoPro because I noticed that when using the blue batteries, my GoPro did some very weird stuff, and that never ever happened with the white batteries, at least in my case. So I'd always recommend using the white ones. Third camera, surprise, surprise, it's my iPhone. Yes, I'm also using my iPhone for some kind of footage when I'm too shy to point my camera yeah, on a specific thing. And now let's talk about my tripods, my camera mounts, and where I store all that stuff while traveling or while cycling. So for my Sony camera, I'm using the Rollei Traveller #1 carbon tripod, and I like it a lot because it is lightweight, it is not that bulky, its maximum height is 142 centimeters, and I like that thing a lot. But you have to take care of the ball head. That's this thing here, and I exchanged mine because this head couldn't hold up with all the weight from my camera. The camera plus the giant Tamron lens is just way too heavy for this little head, so I exchanged it and I'm using the T7S Mark III. My camera plus lens is fine, and this thing can handle it. I store this tripod in one of my panniers, my kind of like universal studio. So in this pannier, I'm not just carrying the tripod, but also my MacBook, my microphones, batteries, external storage device, and yeah, everything I need for video creation. For the GoPro, I am also using a tripod. So my GoPro is on this Insta 360 stick. Yeah, it's no Insta 360, I know that. I might try the Insta 360 one day, but for now it's about the GoPro. I like this kind of selfie stick because it can do stuff like this. Now you have a super long selfie stick, and you can also use it as such a short selfie stick. I am using the Insta 360 stick because they have a third-party bike mount, and so I have my GoPro mounted on the bike with that third-party bike mount, and that's my go-to setup when being on the road with the GoPro. GoPro has those buckles. You can see mine has some wear and tear signs, but it still works pretty well. And this is something like a quick release system. So I have this on my tripod stick, and I can just slide my GoPro into this thing, and it's super safe and secure. And I also had one of those on my helmet, but I can't show you right now because I'm about to switch helmets. And also for the GoPro, I have this little add-on for converting it into a proper tripod, and I screw the Insta 360 stick on this thing, and I'm ready to just place the GoPro somewhere. So sometimes when I'm too lazy to set up my camera and pull out the tripod out of my bag, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want to do this, I just grab this thing here and place it somewhere, continue cycling, grab it again, put it in my bag, and yeah, that's just the easy, lazy way. Then, last but not least, the creation of the content. Ooh. This is where all the magic happens, but it's also very time consuming, especially when you're on the road. There was a time when I edited my stuff and my videos in my tent on my laptop, but I'm not gonna do that again because it was such a hassle. What I still do is I edit my pictures on my phone using Lightroom Mobile. Actually, I never use Lightroom on my MacBook. I wouldn't even know how that works, but that's a different story. So I always edit my pictures on my phone, and whenever I create a reel or YouTube shorts, then I use CapCut on my phone. Also, I use this little adapter thing to transfer files from my SD cards to my iPhone. And this is a tiny lifesaver because, of course, my camera has this built-in function of sending all the files via Bluetooth, I guess. But the quality loss is huge. So I always use this little adapter to transfer my footage from the camera or the GoPro to my phone for some late night edits in my tent. A question many of you ask is, how do you edit your YouTube videos? And for YouTube, no, I'm not editing on my phone. I'm using my MacBook. It's a MacBook Pro M1. I'm editing with DaVinci Resolve. When I started my travels and when I started the vlogging and the filming and the content creation, I didn't have a clue of what I was doing. Even though you don't have, I don't know, 4 cameras and a drone or whatever, then just start with your phone. Like 3 years ago, I started with my phone, a very shitty tripod, and I just recorded what I wanted to record because, yeah, I don't know, I wanted to share what I was doing. And then it kind of developed into, yeah, the gear I have today. So I really want to encourage you that if you want to start, don't wait until you have the money to buy all that fancy equipment. You can go one by one, step by step. It's also very easy to get overwhelmed by all this technical stuff. So just start with what you know, start with your phone, and then you will manage to get where you want to be. If you have more questions about my cameras or equipment or whatever, then let me know in the comments down below. And for more up-to-date information, you can always follow me on Instagram. Thanks for watching, and I see you next time. Cheerio, goodbye, salut, and adios.